Hey, ding dong, a ling a ling a ling, boom ba-do, ba-do ba-do-ba-day. Oh, life could be a dream if I could take you up in paradise up above. If you would tell me I'm the only one that you love, life could be a dream, sweetheart. Hello, hello again.
Hey guys, welcome back to another one of my videos. My name is Braylon, and today I want to sit down and share with you guys a dream that I just woke up from a few hours ago. So this is essentially the beginning or the start, the first video of my dream series. I do want to start sharing the messages, and even just for entertainment purposes. My dreams are very, very vivid. So yeah, I do want to start sharing my dreams in this dream series. So thank you guys so much for listening. For those of you guys who are interested, it is April 21st, 2020, around noon in the afternoon, like 12 p.m. And honestly, I don't really usually get up this early. 12 p.m. is very early for me, but I have been getting up earlier. I'm a Taurus moon. I was born on a day where the moon was transiting Taurus. It had just entered Taurus for me, and right now the sun is in Taurus. So astrologically, it really makes sense what's going on with me. I'm starting to get a lot of clarity in my dreams. I'm definitely starting to understand more of what goes on in my dreams. I've always had crazy dreams. I've always tried to decode and understand the meaning. So last night I had a significant dream. It helps me also to talk about my dreams, because I feel like if I don't talk about my dreams, it's not as easy for me to understand what they might have meant. Sometimes talking about my dreams even helps me remember. So I really do appreciate those of you guys out there listening. So last night I had a dream about some kind of facility. It was like some kind of camp where there were children. And in this dream, I want to say the kids, it doesn't really matter, but details, right? I want to say these kids, there was like different age groups. The youngest might have been 4, the oldest might have been 16, and anywhere in between, right? So there were these this could have been some kind of youth camp, but it felt more like a concentration camp or something like that. It was very weird. I did feel the energy. It was brought to my attention long ago that how dreams make you feel is more important than the details logically present in your dreams, because we're dealing with the subconscious here, right? Whenever we deal with dreams, we're dealing with certain energies behind the scenes that may be suppressed. Okay, it could be someone else's energy. I pick up a lot on other people's energy in dreams. Okay, I dream almost every night. And even if I don't remember my dream, which is rare, I know that I still dreamt. I'm a very avid dreamer. So anyway, yeah, there was this camp, and I, in the dream, felt more or less, I almost felt like I had like traveled to some kind of subconscious realm or something like that, where this is really going on. But anyways, there was a certain amount of fear in the dream, because it was like at a certain time every day, or it just came to our attention that there would be death of some sort. And the thing is like there were different parts of this camp that you could choose. I don't know for sure, but I get the feeling, even though this detail wasn't revealed to me, it's a feeling that I had, right? In this realm, or wherever I was in this dream, there was this camp. And let's just say at a certain amount of time, at a certain time every day, you knew that a set amount of people were going to die. So let's just say in this universe, or at 5 p.m. every day, you knew that a certain thing was going to happen where someone was going to die. So imagine how you would feel in that scenario at 4:48. You see what I'm saying? So it's like there was this energy of anxiety. There was this energy of foresight, like we knew this was always how it was, this is how things went. So it was also uncomfortable to be a part of something so normal. Like I'm looking around at these kids, and I could only imagine how long or yeah, how long they had been doing this and how long this had been their reality, because they were used to it in a way. This was their normal. But you could tell that there was little to no control. Like, it was kind of out of our control, right? This was definitely a very controlled camp. Like, you couldn't leave the camp. Okay, there was access to the outside. So let me just explain to you the energy that I felt when the energy of like death came over, okay? Because I know this sounds really weird, but I think I'm picking up on energy that actually exists in our planet, in like FEMA camps and like the fucking immigration camps. Like, I don't know. I really hope this isn't being done somewhere. But basically, I don't know if some kind of alarm would go off or if it would just happen randomly. But we knew that this was a normal thing to happen. Like, oh, okay, it's time. So when the time would come, there would be like this energy of panic, right? It would go from calm and like we're just walking around on this camp eating, and then all of a sudden the energy would shift where everyone was running and trying to choose. And what do I mean by trying to choose? So there were several different options that you could choose in this camp. You could choose to go outside. You could choose to go in this sort of chamber like place where there were like airtight, you know, those doors that close are like and it's usually to protect from some kind of like airborne thing. Like, it was definitely an airtight shut room where the doors are glass. You know that? You guys know what I mean? So there was like some kind of chamber, some kind of glass chamber you could choose. And I wasn't in the dream long enough to explore the other options, but I do have a feeling that there were several. And the thing is like one of the 5 options would get chosen. So let's just say, okay, so you get a certain amount of time to choose where you're going to reside. And because I would see some people choose outside, and I feel strongly that if you were to choose to go outside, well, let me just finish telling you what this thing was. So, when you would choose a certain area to go in this dream, so if you chose the chamber, basically everyone who chose that area, it was almost like a number was being picked. Like, okay, choose 1 from 5, and then all those numbers get put in a hat, and then you choose a number. And when that number is drawn, everyone in that number dies. That's kind of the energy that I felt in my dream yesterday. So I think if you chose the chamber, there would be like poisonous gas pumped into it. And if nobody chose the chamber, then obviously everyone else will be safe. So it really felt like a gamble. It really felt scary. It really, really did. And there are some details that have escaped me at this point, but this was a really strange dream. And when I woke up, I felt really weird. I'm still thinking about it, and I woke up a couple hours ago. So I thought this was a great dream. I said the next dream that I had that I felt was meaningful and deep that I would come on here and share. I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to upload this video, but I think this is a good place to start because I have a lot of dreams like this. So honestly, after I woke up, I felt like maybe this dream had something to do with what's currently going on in our world. You know, dreams are extremely symbolic and metaphorical, so there is this energy of like population control and like, you know, just being contained and told what to do. There were these people, these white men in my dream, that 2 white men in specific that seemed to be residing over the whole operation. You know, and these kids, some of them felt brainwashed. It kind of felt a little bit like the Lord of Flies, because it was interesting. I felt like certain dynamics where, okay, so after, it was almost like a purging or something like that, because there'd be this wave that came over, like, okay, it's time to choose where you're gonna go. And that was really an anxious moment when you were choosing, okay, do I go outside, do I go in the chamber? Because it's like you could potentially choose the area of the camp that is going to be targeted for death. So, you know, I was just kind of nervous, but at the same time, I'm very conscious in my dreams. So I didn't know that I was dreaming, but I always hold on in the back of my mind to, okay, this is a different realm. I'm not truly from here. I'm from Earth, but I'm temporarily in a subconscious state, because I truly do believe I go to different realms. This is obviously a corner of my mind or a corner of the universe is like subconscious where this is being done. Sometimes I even have reason to believe that the people, like the kids I saw in my dream last night, are those real people? Are those perhaps spirits that have passed on that are like in the in-between realm, so they're not necessarily alive or dead anymore? Because the people in my dreams, like, they seem so real. So yeah, that was it's a little scary. It felt a little bit like Russian roulette energy, like, you know, when you like put the one bullet in the revolver and spin it. So it's definitely a gamble. Like at some points in the dream, me and the people around me just had no idea if we would be alive. So when that energy would pass, like, okay, so they chose the chamber this time. The people outside are still alive. I mean, it's definitely scary to face death and have no control over what's going on. Like, you never know, in a few minutes or maybe in a day or so, you could literally be dead, you know, in this dream. So that's about all I remember from the actual camp. And at some point, my dream kind of shifted to, I guess this is the part that upsets me, because it's like somebody just died. Like five people. Who, it depends on how many people chose which room or which option, you know. But you know, people are dying, and maybe it's one person, maybe it's two people, maybe it's a group of people. It just depends on how people choose. But then it's like everything goes back to normal. You're at a camp. It's like they were being tricked to think that this camp was such a great thing, you know, like, and that this was just something that needed to happen. Like, we just need to do this, guys. This is the way it's always been done. It's worked up until now. Like, this is just the way that we have to control things so things don't just get too overpopulated. That wasn't really ever expressed. It was just a vibe. Like, wow, this is just the way they do things here, huh? These poor kids, like, they're just being held here. They can't leave. But this is the only thing they've ever known. This is normal to them. So after the purge or whatever you want to call it was over, after a certain room or area of this camp was chosen and targeted for death, then it would be lifted and everything was back to normal until the next day when the next choice was made. You see what I mean? It's just like this cycle. And definitely the energy of just being stuck in an uncontrolled environment, or a very controlled environment, depending on the way you look at it. And I'm not sure if this is making any sense, but this is definitely the dream I had last night. Like, what in the fuck? But this is the part that scares me, or that unsettles me the most. So the dream shifted. At first, it was really scary. I feel like in my specific energy, what I remember is going through two waves. Okay, because I remember going through it the first time and really not knowing what the hell was going on, that being a learning experience, like, oh, okay. And then I remember going through it a second time and being more familiar with what's about to happen, like, okay, yeah, this is what happened a moment ago, or this is what happened yesterday. Now there's another one of these fucking waves. I hope to God they don't choose the area that I'm in. You know, like, it's really crazy. But anyway, the energy subsided and I'm like walking around. I must be like, because you could leave the camp, like, you couldn't leave the camp, but you could go outside of the glass facility. Like, you know, it was just like, I remember seeing kids swinging. Like, it was so weird. They had all their basic necessities, entertainment and food and shelter and all these things, but that's the way they kept you there. You know, they give you everything that you need so that you don't want more. Okay, so your basic needs and essentials are like covered. So I was walking around and I seen these two white men like shooting the shit at at a table, you know, and I knew inside that those men were a part of the problem. Like, they were leaders of the camp, and I have a feeling there were more, but these just must have been the two main leaders. And they're very like kind of country bumpkin, like, you know, those old white men. This is just the character, guys. This is what I saw. Like, they're just definitely old school country, like, yeah, it was very interesting, these two men, and they were just talking. I had to walk by them for some reason. And I'm very skilled and I strategize a lot in my dreams. There's been dreams that I've had where I would have died if I didn't strategize. I've even manipulated serial killers in my dreams. Like, oh, hey, I'll just work along. Like, I just do. I have an interesting way of surviving in my dreams. Like, I have a very active subconscious, and I have a lot of details that I am able to go through and stuff. So I can remember feeling in my dream like those men are bad. But I also knew that I needed to just play it cool while I walked by them, because I'm just an innocent, you know, bystander. I'm just dreaming. I just accidentally kind of bumped into your world. So I didn't want to stand out. I truly believe that there are dream people that reside over dreams and reside over certain subconscious realms. And if you're careful, you'll just look like, you know, a passerby. But if you were to be, there are certain forces in the universe that may detect you as a sleeper. Like, holy shit, this is someone who sleep. This is a human who's still alive. You know what I mean? But if you're careful, they won't know the difference, is my opinion. And that's kind of what was going on last night, is that I just kind of blended in. I'm sure there's new kids in and out of there. out of that camp. And so I kind of just probably looked like someone new, or I don't know. But as I walked by this man, he's like, "Excuse me, ma'am, do you have a cigarette I could borrow?" And I was like, no, I'm sorry, I don't. And then I saw a pack of like Newport menthols on the table nearby. So I was like, "Do you smoke Newports? Like here I see these." And he's like, "Oh no, I smoke Marlboro 100s or something like that. Some kind of classic like cigarette like that, you know what I mean?" And I was like, "Oh, like I smoke American Spirit menthols anyways, so you probably wouldn't have liked mine." Like it was just casual conversation I was just kind of making up so that he wouldn't detect anything. And so he kind of just laughed it off, and I don't know what I was doing, but I was keeping myself busy and just kind of passing these men by. So as I was passing, that's what the man asked me for a cigarette. I said no. And as I was walking away, I could hear them snickering and kind of laughing. I don't really, I have a hard time hearing words in my dreams. It's like I can't really ever, unless it's something really interesting or really if I'm meant to remember what's said. So I don't really know what was said by the first guy, but he said something along the lines of, "Man, I wish we could get her," or I wish, too bad, she'd be real fun, to get next," or something like that. And it was kind of along the lines of, "I wish," or "she'd be fun," kind of like I was off limits or something like that, which is weird and creepy. And then just before I was too far away to hear, I heard the other man say in response, he's like, "Even bricks will be threatened," almost like it was some kind of Bible quote or powerful scripture or something like that. He said it very biblically, and when I woke up, I looked it up to see if there was any Bible quotes, because it really struck me as biblical, or at least if this realm has its own Bible or something like that, maybe it's out of that. I don't know. It just triggered me. Okay, and I'm not even sure if that's exactly how it was said, but it's like all I can think about today. As I'm awake, I just hear that man saying, even bricks will be threatened." And the only thing that I can really think that means is like even people who are the strong foundation in between those are like, I was not who was targeted in the dream. I was not, you know, in harm's way. So those of us playing those positions, those of us who seem to be playing it, or being in that position or playing that role in today's life, like if you're not the person who's actually being targeted, whatever that might mean, if you're acting as like a protective brick, that's what I really feel is like. I keep seeing this brick wall that is in front of those who are being harmed, and that's what the man was saying, like even bricks will be threatened, even those with strong foundations will be threatened. Almost like, I don't know what it meant. I don't know what he meant by that, but it was very snarky and very evil, and there was a very dark agenda that I was able to pick up on. And so that was a very weird dream. I don't know if I'm picking up on, the control going on in our government. There's a lot of weird shit going on right now. And I've always just had certain dreams that reveal things to me. You know what I mean? So as far as like how to decode dreams and to figure out what your subconscious might be trying to relay to you, it's very helpful to go over how you felt in the dream. How I felt in my dream last night is that I was somewhere that it was being controlled. That I was somewhere where I didn't have much control, even over my own life, even over whether the fact if I was going to die or not. There was a lot of youth around me. Okay, so I don't know what that means, but it was definitely targeted at the younger group. How else did I feel? I felt, anxious and scared, like I needed to make the right choice. Like where is safe? So I don't know if we're all feeling like kind of collectively that it's not exactly like, where can we go that is safe on Earth? And will our choice for safety, kind of like where we're quarantined right now or something like that. But that's what I felt, is that you need to pick right, and the wrong choice could literally be the difference between life and death in this dream. There's missing details. I don't remember actually seeing like anyone die, which is great because sometimes my dreams are really gory like that. But no, I didn't see any death. I just knew it was happening. And that's kind of how I feel right now on the planet. Like I might not be seeing with my own like human eyes, but I feel it. And that's why I'm dreaming like this. That's why I'm having dreams like this. So I really hope that this isn't something going on in the world. I don't know what I picked up on last night. You know, it could definitely be the certain energies of camps and stuff like that, but gosh, you know, this world is controlled like that. It might not be verbatim, it might not be as serious as this yet, but there's something going on for me, for my subconscious to be picking up on this. And yeah, very weird dream, you guys. I'd be interested to know or to hear what you guys think about this. And hopefully you enjoy these videos, because I'm definitely going to be coming out. And like, if I have any more weird dreams, it does me so, it's helped me so much just to be able to sit and talk about them, even if it's just for a half hour or so, to just talk about some of the things that occur in my subconscious and what they could mean, and if it's a message for anyone out there, just to get people thinking, you know. So I'm definitely going to continue this dream series, and trust me, I'm going to have way more detailed dreams than this at some point. I mean, some of my dreams are just unbelievable, and I have very faith. I definitely believe that my dreams have deeper meaning than what one might think. So guys, if you guys have any interesting dreams, please contact me. Dream interpretation is one of my favorite things. I love talking about the subconscious. I love talking about deeper realms and stuff like that. There is no such thing as a dream that is too weird or too vivid or too scary to talk about, especially when it comes to me. So I'm definitely available and willing to do that for you guys. So yeah, I think that's about it. This was a rather short one. Some of my dreams are much longer with much more detail, but that's what I can remember now. I did talk about it with a close friend of mine before recording this, so I don't know if that had any effect on what I remembered or not, but this is what I'm able to relay. And thank you guys so much for listening. I guess I'll catch you in the next dream series video. Bye.